reported missing.
I don't know if she even left the driveway.
He's gone to get cigarettes and she's gone to get cigarettes. So, I mean, something's just not right there.
I can't just say, but yeah, that's a unique individual.
It's been 5 years since Cassie Compton was last seen. She went missing from her home in Stuttgart, Arkansas in 2014. Cassie was 15 years old when she went missing. In the years since she was last seen, investigators and her family have been left wondering what happened to Cassie Compton. Stuttgart Police Chief Mark Duke was a lieutenant in the department on September 14, 2014, the day Cassie Compton disappeared. That day is stuck in his mind.
I was there the morning that she was reported missing. And, you know, it's like anything else. You think, all right, she's mad, she left, we'll find her. And it just went sideways from there.
In the years since, there's never been a definitive sighting of Cassie. The day she was last seen, she went to a demolition derby in DeWitt, Arkansas with a family friend and returned home just before 7 p.m. on Sunday, September 14th. She was only home for a few moments, then left again, saying she was going to buy cigarettes.
She had stayed the night with family friends and came home on Sunday. The mother and the boyfriend were there. She went in, she left a few minutes later, and that's where the mystery starts.
Cassie's mother, Judy Compton Kimsey, says she has no idea what happened to her daughter.
We've had no luck whatsoever. And I've questioned people, friends that she hung out with, and they hadn't seen her. They said they hadn't seen her.
Judy struggles with the unknown.
I can't imagine. Where she went. I don't know if she even left the driveway.
What do you mean by that?
When she walked out the door, I don't know. You know, if she... maybe was taken by somebody, you know, before she got out of the driveway.
Judy married her current husband, Mike Kimsey, in the years since Cassie disappeared, but back in 2014, she was engaged to a man named Brandon Rhodes. On September 14, 2014, Judy was homesick in bed when Cassie returned from the Derby. Brandon Rhodes was also home. Chief Duke says nobody has ever been ruled out as a suspect in Cassie's disappearance, but that Brandon Rhodes is someone they've kept their eye on over the years.
Yeah. I can't just say, but yeah, that's a unique individual.
In the weeks after Cassie's disappearance, Judy and Brandon ended their relationship. Channel 7 talked to Judy and her son Chris Newcomb shortly after their split.
Both Judy and Chris suspect foul play in Cassie's disappearance. They believe Brandon Rhodes, Judy's ex-fiance, may have something to do with it. Before she went missing, Cassie would confide in Chris.
They'd fight all the time and they wouldn't get along, and she didn't want to be around him.
I reached out to Judy's son, Chris. He did not want to do a formal interview, but answered my questions on Facebook. He says he still thinks Brandon Rhodes may be involved in Cassie's disappearance. But now, 5 years later, Judy says she can't imagine Brandon harming her daughter. Has it ever crossed your mind that maybe he might have had something to do with this?
I never thought that he would have anything to do with it. He looked at her like his daughter, you know. And if he did, it would be shocking to me.
Judy says she doesn't remember much from the day Cassie disappeared because she was sick, but she does remember what Brandon was doing.
He was in the house, and he was cooking dinner. That's what he was getting ready to do whenever she came home, was cook supper, because I was really sick.
Judy says Brandon brought her dinner in bed because she was too sick to get up and eat. A private investigator named Tina Storrs with an organization called Halos Investigations has been working on this case since about a year after Cassie vanished. She worked closely with Judy Compton over the years. Tina says she remembers Judy telling her a different story about Brandon Rhodes.
She said he told her he was leaving and he was going to get cigarettes. But at the same time that he goes to get cigarettes, Cassie Compton texts Hunter and says, I'm going to get a smoke. Red flag. She's never seen again.
Cassie's 15, so she can't buy cigarettes herself.
Right.
So she'd have to, most likely, unless there's someone out there that was selling cigarettes to a minor, she would have to have an adult purchase those for her.
Yes.
So is that one of the theories, that maybe Brandon, you would do that for her?
Well, you know, my concern here is, did she get in the car with him and it was a thing like, hey, I'm going to get smokes, and knowing, if anything, I'm not going to say he did anything to her because I do not know, but you put two and two together. He's going to get cigarettes and she's going to get cigarettes. So, I mean, something's just not right there. He was gone. And after he came back, he went in the bathroom and was sick and stayed in the bathroom for an hour or two.
And Judy told you this?
Yes. So this is what I've been told. She never got out of the bed.
So she just heard him come in and say he was sick and was in the bathroom for several hours after he had been gone for several hours and her daughter wasn't home yet.
So you have pancakes, cigarettes, sick in the bathroom.
At this point in the case, I knew I had to figure out where Brandon Rhodes is, and after some digging online, we found that he's booked into the Independence County Jail on several charges, one of those charges being conspiracy to commit capital murder. This case is completely unrelated to Cassie Compton, but I decided to write him a letter, and he wrote me back. He said, Dear Kayla Lafferty, I recently received your letter. I would deeply like to speak to you at your convenience. You would have to come to the Independence County Jail. However, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to bring closure to Judy and once and for all put this Cassie case to a close. There's only so much a man can keep bottled up inside of him. Thanks for your interest, and I hope to hear from you soon. God bless, Brandon Rhodes. One of the first things I did after getting this letter was call Stuttgart Police Chief Mark Duke.
I don't know how to put that in words. He's out there. And I think he's, like I said before, I think he's definitely a prime suspect. Nobody's been ruled out.
I contacted the Independence County Jail and the Independence County Sheriff's Office trying to set up an interview with Brandon. After weeks of calling, leaving voicemails, and sending emails, I never got a response. Tina Storrs and I decided to go to the Independence County Jail to see Brandon for visitation.
I'm a little nervous but excited. I'm hoping that he's going to give us some information that we've needed for such a long time.
Brandon is listed on the Sheriff's Office website jail roster as an inmate at the Independence County Jail. We called the night before and were told we needed to bring a valid driver's license to be able to visit Brandon. When you get to the jail for visitation, you walk up to the main entrance and you press a button on an intercom and tell someone on the other line who you're there to visit. Tina and I told them we were there to see Brandon Rhodes, and the woman told us he was no longer in custody at the Independence County Jail. But the night before, when we called, we were told he was in custody.
We rang the bell to say we were here to see Brandon Rhodes, and I spelled his last name out. They told us that he was not here any longer. So we asked where. They wouldn't give us the location of where he was. They said it was privacy purposes that they could not give us the information.
As soon as we left the jail, I wrote Brandon a letter telling him the experience we had when we attempted to visit him. A few days later, I got a response from him. In the letter, he says, in part, I find it disturbing because I knew nothing about your visit to the Independence County Jail. I am indeed still located at ICJ. He then asked me to visit again so he can tell me about his experience while booked into the jail. For updates and more information about this case, listen to our podcast.